Let me ask you this. Have you ever watched a ball drop and hit the ground? That precise moment, when the ball touches the ground and its height becomes zero, that's the kind of moment we are talking about in Algebra 2. In the world of polynomials, we call it a zero. It's the value where the polynomial's output becomes, well, zero. Sounds simple, right? Let's see how this small idea holds big power in mathematics. So, what exactly is a zero of a polynomial? A zero is a number that makes the whole polynomial equal to zero. In other words, if you plug a value into the polynomial and the result is zero, that value is called a zero or a root. Let's try an example. Suppose p, kiss smiley is equal to x minus 3. Now, substitute x is equal to 3p, 3 is equal to 3 to 3 is equal to 0. That means 3 is a zero of this polynomial. It's really that simple. Input a number, check if the output is 0. Let's walk through an actual example from your NCERT book. Consider the polynomial p kiss smiley is equal to x squared minus 2x. We are asked, are x is equal to 0 and x is equal to the zeros of this polynomial? Let's check them one by one. First, substitute x is equal to 0, p 0 is equal to 0 superscript 2 times 0 equals 0, 0 is equal to 0 now. Substitute x is equal to 2, p 2 is equal to 2 superscript 2 times 2 equals 4, 4 is equal to 0. Since both values give us 0, we can confidently say 0 and 2 are zeros of this polynomial. See how quick that was. Let's now picture what a zero looks like on a graph. Imagine a curve that represents a polynomial. The places where this curve touches or crosses the x-axis, those are its zeros. Why the x-axis? Because that's where the output or y value is 0. So, if a polynomial has a 0 at x equals 2, the graph will pass through the point 2, 0. Every time the curve hits the x-axis, it's like the polynomial saying, here, I equals 0. Now here's a great question. How many zeros can a polynomial have? The answer depends on its degree, which is the highest power of the variable. A linear polynomial, degree 1, has exactly 1 zero. A quadratic polynomial, degree 2, can have up to 2 zeros. A cubic polynomial, degree 3, can have up to 3 zeros. The higher the degree, the more possible zeros a polynomial can have. And each zero is like a fingerprint. It tells you something special about that polynomial. You might be wondering, why do zeros matter outside of math class? Well, they help solve real-world problems. In business, zeros can show when profit becomes 0, your break-even point. In physics, they show when an object hits the ground, like 0 height. In engineering, zeros help detect balance points or faults in systems. So every zero isn't just a number. It's a moment where something important happens. Now let's find a zero, step by step. Here's the polynomial. Px equals 2x plus 1. Step 1, set px equal to 0. That gives us 2x plus 1 equals 0. Step 2, solve for x, subtract 1 from both sides. 2x equals negative 1. Now divide by 2. X equals negative 1 divided by 2. And there you have it. X equals 1/2 is the zero of this polynomial. Simple, right? Just plug it in, set it to 0 and solve. Before we move on, let's lock in a few important facts about zeros of polynomials. A zero doesn't have to be the number 0. It's any value that makes the polynomial equal 0. A polynomial can have more than one zero, depending on its degree. A non-zero constant polynomial like 5 has no zero. It never becomes 0. But a zero polynomial, just the number 0, has every number as a 0. These simple rules can save you from common mistakes. Let's do a quick check straight from your NCERT book. Question: is x is equal to a 0 of p, kiss smiley is equal to x plus 2? Try substituting p 2 is equal to 2 plus 2 is equal to 0? Yes. Since it gives 0, 2 is a 0 of the polynomial. That's how easy it is to test. Just plug it in. Let's quickly recap. A 0 of a polynomial is any value that makes the expression equal 0. You can find it by plugging in values or solving equations. The number of zeros depends on the degree of the polynomial. Coming up next, we'll explore how these zeros help us factorize polynomials. Get ready, you're about to uncover the real power of algebra. Here's what we learned today. White heavy checkmark a 0 of a polynomial is a value that makes the expression equal 0. White heavy checkmark to check if a number is a 0, just plug it into the polynomial. If the result is 0, it's a 0. White heavy checkmark the number of zeros a polynomial can have depends on its degree. White heavy checkmark graphically, zeros are the points where the polynomial curve touches or crosses the x-axis. With this foundation, you're ready to dive into factor theorem and start breaking polynomials into simpler parts. Let's go.